Happy Capricorn new moon energy. We are like 2, 3 days away from it. You can feel those energies 3 days before, 3 days after. You can work with those energies 3 days before, 3 days after. I can't believe it's December. I can't believe that we are in the final stretch of 2024 on the Western Hemisphere. We started this year with the new moon in Capricorn. January 1st, 2024 was a Capricorn new moon. We're ending the year in a Capricorn new moon. It was a year 8, which is Saturn ruled, which is Capricorn's ruler. It was a big year. It was a big foundational shifting year. It may have felt like your life was kind of like experiencing mudslides. Um, and now the rebuild begins as we go into a year 9. I'll have a whole nother video for that. Patreon will hear it, see it first, just like Patreon's already gotten their 2025 Trapstrology report for every sign. It's been up for a couple of weeks on Patreon now. So make sure you are clicking the link wherever you see this and subscribing to my Patreon. That vibe is like no other. The Capricorn new moon is 12:30, December 30th, 2024. 9 degrees of Capricorn. So that's affecting Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio the most intensely. But it's going to be affecting all of us. Capricorn is always about stability and where do you need more foundational support, energetic support. Saturn will show you where your resources are, but then Saturn will also show you where you lack something and where you need more of something. And then even devise the plan for you to get there and then kind of look back at you like, so you gonna do it or not? Because Saturn's not going to encourage your stagnation or support your bullshit. Wherever you need more discipline in your life is where Capricorn is taking activation and taking formation for you. Your Capricorn placement in your birth chart will be affected by this. And then also wherever you may have your Capricorn house, which is going to be the 10th house for everybody. But whatever's in that 10th house for you individually will be being affected as well through this transit. I keep doing the quotation marks when I talk about the new year and the end of the year because I am a critical thinker. And I've known for years that nothing grows in the years that end in So October, November, December, even in January, February, those are not spring months. They may be spring somewhere else in the world, but it's not spring here. So setting New Year intentions is good because it helps you gain the momentum that you will need for those 90 days leading up to the real New Year with the spring equinox in March. But setting your intentions and expecting for, or resolutions and expecting for them to materialize anytime before spring or summer of next year is selling yourself short. So this Capricorn new moon, though, is the resolution that you are working for because it is going to provide you the stability and the solidification that you need to see the goal through long term. Year 9, 2025, we are not playing small. We're not playing because it was convenient. We're not playing because, I did that because it was easy. All of the moves that we will make will have longevity around them. And we'll be looking at them like, if it negatively impacts my longevity, then I'll have to hard cut it off. Relationships, jobs, mental patterns, health patterns, physical things that you do every day. If it is not going to serve me in my long term, then I likely will have to cut it off now. Set your own rules for 2025 that you won't break. This is where you are really carving out your own individual spirituality, your mechanisms, your modalities, the things that only you understand. I talked about earlier in the year, I believe it's probably in the Capricorn full moon during the summer, June and July, that your mother's tradition can't save you. You know, your mother's religions cannot save you if they are falsely energized. If you're only doing it because you saw somebody else doing it, but you don't believe in what is being done, then you're not going to have the outcome that you're necessarily looking for, right? So 2024 was all about what works for me. We're going into, with the Capricorn new moon, the Ouroboros energy, and I hope I pronounced that correctly, when the snake is eating the snake, which is an eight, which is infinite, which is the eight on its side, which could be the eating of your skin, the dying of your skin, the rebirthing of your skin. When a snake sheds their skin, they don't hide away at the vulnerability of the new skin. They get to slithering. They got shit to see. They got things to do. They can't sit here and be like, oh, that was so uncomfortable. My skin feels so raw. It's so new. I can't go out here. Same thing with butterflies. Butterflies don't even know they have these wings until another butterfly tells them, hey, yo, did you see your wings? You know, they also don't know that their wings are wet. And that's why when the predator can get them more, because their wings are wet. But set your own rules that you will not break. Set your own rituals and routines that you will swear by in 2025 that you've maybe worked out in 2024, and that's the reason why you know that you can stand on them. You don't need anybody to understand it. You don't need anybody to support it. You now realize what works for you, and don't break your own rules. I've been kind of trying to move in my new established rules for a couple of months now. I'm big on momentum and energy. So you don't walk into college the same day you apply for it. And if you have an entrance exam, you damn sure are not walking into college the day you apply for it. You have to study, prepare, know that you are adequate and ready to even take the entrance exam. Take the entrance exam, prove yourself. Hope then there that your scores or whatever it is are going to be good enough for them to say, oh, yeah, we want you in our school. So it's the same thing with your intentions. They don't materialize the day you write them on paper. Now, sometimes they can. But gaining the energy and the momentum of them prior to 30, 60, 90 days prior to is going to be very beneficial for you. 21 days makes or breaks a habit. So who you're going to be 21 days from now starts today. Remember that. 2024 was a very revealing year on relationships, friendships. I had said at the top of the year, with Pluto making its transit into Aquarius, which would be affecting your Aquarian placements and your 11th house, because the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, that there would be monumental shifts in friendships, relationships, domestic partnerships, job, working relationships, all of that. And it's been a hard reality check for a lot of people. I've had multiple clients this year be like, I lost my best friend and did nothing happen to him. I just don't mess with him no more. You know, I don't go there anymore. I don't talk that way anymore. I don't speak to that person anymore. And these are things and people who you thought, because they've been around for so long, that they were going to be there until the very end. But this is the end. You know how they're talking about, oh, we're in our last days, we're in our last days. No. We're in the last days of some BS energy that's been ruling for way too long. And now the shift and the upgrade is here. So it's the same thing about you thinking that you were going to take that friendship or that partnership or that thing to the end. Well, this is the end. This is the final finale. And be grateful for it. Don't be sad. Be grateful. Especially if these relationships were rooted in drama and manipulation. If you have a person in your life that every time you speak to them, Murphy's Law has chased them down, you need to stay away from them, because they're not moving energetically right, because that's not the way the universe works. The universe does not always kick a person down. The universe doesn't do that. The universe gives you a moment to get your breath. And if in that breath you move strategically unapproved by the universal beings, then you will have to repeat that lesson. So if every time you had someone in your life this year, or some of the people who you're losing this year, they were going through something, or it was drama after drama after drama after drama after drama, rainstorm after rainstorm after rainstorm, you have to ask yourself, what dance did you do for this to happen to you? The manipulation tactics are done. You know, we're going big or we're going home. You're either going to meet us halfway where we are, and we're going to have a respect and an understandability with each other, or we will stay on two different sides of the line. I'm thinking like Job and his brother. We'll stay on. Hey, you go that way, I'll go my way, and we don't even have to see each other anymore. Because we are literally shape shifting as humans, as spiritual beings, as intellectual beings, as spiritual beings. I don't know if I just said that, but we are completely shape shifting and maneuvering into a higher consciousness. Even more reason why a lot of relationships will have to fall off. A lot of belief patterns and habits will have to fall off. Accountability is going to be a big thing for 2025. It was already a big thing for 2024. And that could be the reason why you are at this hard 180-degree turn at where you are in your life, because you're like, oh no, I may be able to point the finger at that person, but this is what I did. This is how I participated in it, and this is how I take my power back. We've been unbecoming since spring of 2024, leaving behind the representation of who we have had to be to survive up until this point. So if you have been a survivor of trauma or abuse or neglect or any of that, who you have been up until 2024 has just been a representation of you. It's just been a representative. It's not who you really are. So 2024 was the coming back to yourself. The Capricorn new moon is even more supporting that, of the coming back, because Capricorn's been supporting us all year on going back to your truth. Get back in your square. You know, do not lose yourself in this world. Do not let what maybe previously happened to you in life condition you, precondition you to a theory that is not relevant for you. New moons are the dark moons. This is when you cannot see the moon in the sky. But that's when seeds do their best germinating. So this is, again, why you want to set your intentions at this time and then give it 90 days, 120 days space for it to start unfolding for you. I usually say unthawing. When the world is no longer going through winter, or when the Western hemisphere is no longer going through winter, then you will be able to see some of these things materialize, unfold, they'll all start to make sense on why they had to happen. Being that this is a book-ended Capricorn new moon, we had a Capricorn new moon at the beginning of the year. This is the last one. And then we had 2 Capricorn full moons in the middle of the year. It's very much so giving, yes, your father was not there for you, and your dad did not do what you needed him to do, and he did not provide the stability that you needed him to provide. But Capricorn, Saturn came through with that big stepdaddy energy. I'm not a stepdad. I'm a dad that stepped up. And that's going to come in the stretching, in the molding, in the rebuilding, in the repairing of your identity in the world, of your relationships with other people, in the way that you connect to other people. And Capricorn has been supporting us this whole year in tying up those loose odds and ends. Understanding where we may have paternal weaknesses or paternal trauma, and where we need to do our own work to better that energy, because we realize that the people who hurt us, or what we've been abandoning, or what we have been lacking all these years, cannot be replaced or replenished by the people who were responsible. That's fine. We'll take accountability. Again, 2024, we will take accountability for it. Because it's the end of the year and it's Capricorn, you can't keep carrying this stuff to the next level. What I love most about Capricorns is they will complain and they will wallow for a minute like every other person. But then they're like, and now I got the plan. And now this is what has to happen. And they won't allow you to cry too much or whine too much about what's going on. Let's get this finalized. All right, I know it hurt. I know it was uncomfortable. But now we got to do something different, or we're going to continue to be here. So, yes, your real father may have failed you, meaning life circumstances. But remember, your Saturn placement in your chart is your life obstacle this lifetime. Your North Node in your chart is your life purpose, but it also will be providing a series of obstacles, because you have to learn, upgrade, graduate, maneuver, and ascend. That's what you came here to do. And I say this on all my past life readings and anytime I get to interact with somebody on an individual level. But once we can understand that life is not happening to us, and we chose this path, we chose it. No matter how messed up it was, is, wrinkled up, whatever, we chose it. We stood in those Akashic records and we said, yo, I want to go here. They said, you've already been a prince, you've already been a queen, you've already been a king, you've already been a rat, you've already been a roach, you've already been a sword, you've been a knight, you've been a warrior, what you want to be this time. And you said, well, my soul has never experienced this. And I need this for the next expansion and evolution so I can get up off this planet like so many of y'all want to do. You want to get off the planet? Well, in order for you to evolve to the next planet, you got to do some energy work. So instead of crying and being, woe is me, be grateful that Saturn is here to support you in that shit, right? Excuse my French. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I'll have a continuation for the extended version in Patreon. We're going to pull some cards. I'm going to talk more about what we can expect with this Capricorn new moon. And I will talk to y'all next year. Holla back. Patreon, what it do? What it do?